So good to have my good friend and colleague Tracy Milligan with me. So in life I have 4 women in my life, and in order of knowing them I have got my mum, my wife, my daughter and Tracy. So Tracy is my PA and a good friend and colleague. So we just wanted to have a chat a little about all things VA. So welcome, Tracy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All thing VA, virtual assistant for those that don't know.
Yeah, good. And so you're looking forward to this, aren't you? This is right in your comfort zone.
Totally not. I hate video. I hate speaking on video.
All right. Well, look, let's just have a good conversation anyway. So, tell us a little bit about what is a VA? That's the most basic question. So, what is a VA?
Virtual assistant. So, essentially a personal assistant, a PA, secretary, EA, whatever people want to call them now, that work remotely. So I used to always say from home, but that's because when I started it was COVID, so we were all at home. But some of the VAs work in co-working spaces because they want to be outside of the home. So it's a personal assistant that works remotely.
All right. So we asked earlier on, we asked Kelvin, who's off camera at the moment, what a VA was, and he thought it was a robot, a bot, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was Alexa.
I thought it was Alexa. So yeah, do you ever get that as well?
Alexa's way more intelligent than me.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, a lot actually. Not everyone still now, and it's become more popular, but there's a lot of people that don't know what a virtual assistant is, and they do ask me, we thought you were the box that pops up on the internet and things like that, so kind of AI type stuff.
Right.
But it's definitely becoming a bigger field now. It's massive in America and has been even since I started, but it's becoming more and more popular, which has its upside and its downside.
So why has it become more popular then?
COVID, people wanted to work from home. People think it's a quick win, so they think it'll be easy and it's a side hustle, the whole thing, until they get into it and realise it's not.
All right, so it's become more, as in there's more VAs out there because of people wanting to work from home. But what's the demand like as well for VAs then?
I would say the demand is getting higher because people, again, after COVID, don't want, and just overheads, cost of living now. So the cost of offices, staff, people, sick pay, things like that. So people are now deciding to move out of their offices, work remotely, which involved a remote team. And now if you don't need a PA all the time, so essentially we used to be full-time in an office, they're thinking, well, actually there's another way now. We can get a virtual assistant. We don't have to provide equipment, office space, health, sick care, pensions or whatever, and we can use them when we need them.
So okay, so there's maybe some of the reasons why VAs become a legitimate option now. What are some of the benefits that people experience as a consequence of working with a VA? Now, obviously, I can give my perspective as well, but let's hear it from you first of all.
I think there's a lot of different kind of things that people get out of it. I think a lot of people is the overheads, it's the cost. We do work slightly differently to some other VAs, which is why I always kind of put the thing out of, let's have the conversation, because how I run things is very different to what some other VAs do. There's a lot of VAs that will just do project work, one-offs. We don't do that. We want to be part of your team, so we are a minimum 5 hours a week. But for the kind of people we want to work for and become part of their team, watch them grow, evolve, and then bring someone in for them full-time if that's what they need, that's the kind of level hours that we need. But the benefits are, you've got someone that can come in and systemize things for you. You don't need to spend a lot of time training them. Another thing, which is part of the thing that I do, is it's an 80% match minimum that I'll go for now for a lot of lessons I've been learned. So I'll have the conversation, see what the person needs, what systems they work with, and then I'll match a VA 80% to that. So they'll either be using the same systems, they'll have worked in the same industry, so they won't need the training. That if you were bringing someone in-house, you'd spend the time training, then they might leave anyway. Whereas you can get a VA in, they can help, they kind of can hit the ground running. They'll take a lot of different things off your hands, whatever it is that you need them for. Again, there's no holiday pay, sick pay, things like that. They've got their own equipment. And all of my VAs have got minimum 10 years experience at a high level PA, EA role.
one thing that we've not covered yet is the idea of how you started your business, because you started on your own, but things have evolved since then. So go and just give a little bit of a feel for that journey.
So my background is I joined the army, obviously. I was in the army for 8 years. I was a telecoms tech, so I would fix like the CCTV on the towers in Belfast. I obviously went to Kosovo. I am that old. And when I knew I was going to leave, I retraded to the AGC, done my diploma in admin management and things, because I knew I didn't want to climb maths when I got out. So I fell into kind of office work, worked my way up. I ended up office manager at Leapfrog Investments, which I loved, but it was a really busy role. I was away, I was working a lot, and obviously I'm a single mum, and I'd missed Sophie's nursery graduation, and that was it for me. I didn't want to miss any more kind of milestones. So I left and looked for a part-time job, but they just didn't. Part-time and admin can be not now, because obviously things have evolved, but about 8 years ago it was kind of just the basic tasks, and I just thought I can't do this forever, because obviously your job is a big part of your life. And so I decided to work for myself. So that was the start.
And how long did you work for yourself before you then kind of built a business?
So it'll be nearly 3 years it was just me.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, obviously, like we were speaking about earlier. I moved house and decided, because I know we spoke about it before, I spoke about it to Mark, who's one of my other like long-standing clients, about expanding. I just never felt I wanted to. I think more it's the voice in your head that you can't do it. Why would you think you could do that? But COVID, we had a lot of time on our hands, and I thought, well, I'll go for it. Rebranded, went limited, and decided to try and expand.
And so now you've got a network or a team of nine others. Okay.
Yeah.
So the point about matching people up.
Yeah,
obviously.
and not always those 9.
Yeah.
So I have a massive network now, and I've spoken to a lot of VAs. I know I've kind of went through the process of who's good at what, who meets with my values, who I'd want to have on my team. Because I do try, and even though they're freelancers, keep it as a team. We have a WhatsApp group, we have monthly Zoom calls, we have monthly drinks, like over COVID we did that as well. We'll have drinks pre-summer, after summer, because working remotely can be quite isolating, especially when you're not a team. So VAs tend to be solo unless they do evolve and then have their own team or whatever. So it was important for me to have that, and I've got a wider network that I will match, so it'll depend on what the person needs, but the team that I've got now I'm very happy with. And again, that's evolved because you learn your lessons at the start and things like that. People come, people go.
And so obviously you and I have worked together now. We checked this before chatting just now. It was November 2018, so here we are now. It's almost 6 years, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 years.
And one of the phrases that I often use with clients is this idea of saving a wage could be costing you a fortune. And for me, one of the reasons for working with you was to say, look, I was getting consumed with lots of stuff, frankly, that was taking me away from the main job of actually coaching. And so therefore you really helped me with all manner of things. So do you want to maybe just, how typical am I versus kind of the other clients that you and your team work with?
Every client, I would say, is totally different. It's like when you go to any job, even though you might have the same trade, they'll expect different things, they want different things, they use different systems, things like that. So everyone is generally different. That's why it's important to have the initial conversation, manage expectations, what they need, find out all the information. It's also a personality match. So I could have the perfect person but know that they will not gel as a person, and communication is key. So I always try and offer a minimum 2, so they can gauge for themselves who they think they would gel best with. But I would say all my clients are different, and all the clients for the VAs are. My main thing that I work off now is, would I work with the person? So when clients come to us, there'll be work that I'll turn away and people think you're mad, but I just know they're not a fit for us. I know it won't work. Like I've learned enough now to know that it's just a waste of time, because it doesn't work for everyone. People like the idea of, it's like everything, you like the idea of something because other people tell you it's great, but you know deep down it's not going to work for you.
So what are the characteristics then that you're looking for, and maybe what are the ingredients to a good relationship with a VA?
So forward thinking normally, cloud-based obviously, great at communication. I always say to anybody that comes on, you have to commit a minimum to 1 weekly call with your VA, because communication is key. Just to priorities change on a weekly, if not daily basis. So communication is essential. And like they want to grow. So, because we love being part of that and introducing new systems and wanting us to research new things, or they'll say we want something that does X, Y, and Z, and then we can go and look for that, and then that's a lot of time saved for them too. So I would always just say evolving, growing companies work best with us.
And one of the things I've particularly liked in terms of how we've worked together is the communication. So we obviously have a Monday call. We go through your list, I go through my list, and that sets us off, go through the diary, so the diary management. But I think for me is that, WhatsApp for us is probably the key way of communicating. And so it's fast. And I like that.
That's also evolved though. And that's where managing expectations comes in. When I speak to people, I'm like, they're not going to come in, they're not going to change your life in the first week. You have to build a relationship. You have to, like now, our relationships have also, like, I'm constantly checking our stuff. I work differently. It's the same with my other clients because I've had you for so long. But that comes in time. But all the VAs, the main kind of communication is WhatsApp as well. I always say to clients, even if you just get it out your head. So if you think, because a lot of people that have their own businesses, you think, I mean, you do it as well. You think of things at like 10 at night, you think, oh God, I need to remember and do that. So you'll email yourself or you'll WhatsApp your like me or whatever. It doesn't mean you have to do the work right then. It just gets it out your head, and it means you can go to sleep. People journal, people do different things. But for me, that's a key thing for us, and clients love that they can just get it out their head. They've tasked one of us to do it, and even though it's not getting done right now, they know it will be done when the VA logs on in the morning and she's going through their stuff. So it's the peace of mind of that. So the communication.
Yeah, I think certainly from my point of view, I think it's the ability to get things out your head quickly, put it on a voice note or a quick WhatsApp, but then also the knowledge that will get done pretty quickly as well. So I think that for me, it's about speed of delivery for a client. We get stuff done quickly, and I like that.
And also standard 9 to 5s, you would leave, and that would be it. You wouldn't speak to your PA again until the morning when they came in. Whereas with a VA, it is just getting out your head, but they all work different hours. You work at what works best for you. They can dip in and out. They can do a set hour. They can do whatever works. Again, this all comes in the kind of first 2 weeks. I always say you've got to get out like a bedding in, see what works for you. Even when they're managing inboxes, flagging might not work. You might want them to do it a different way. So you just have to see what works.
And so what kind of people is it that you and the team are working with then? What gives an idea of the spread of businesses?
So we have coaches, accountants, trades. We have quite a few trades now. What else have we got? See if I forget any. I think that's kind of the bulk.
All right, so coaches, accountants and trades.
The trades, yeah.
And obviously coaches' favourite.
Coaches is definitely the favourite.
Yeah. I thought so.
I can say that because my 3 clients are coaches, even the one's a coach and an accountant. But so that's kind of how it evolved. So when I first started, it was kind of like, oh, you should niche and all that. I've never been a big fan of that. I always think, especially like as an admin, as long as your skills are built up through different kind of trades, but it's always inbox, it's events, it's calendar, it's systems. You can learn new things very quickly as long as you've got the experience and the kind of firefighting of everything. But obviously different people want different things. So the trades have a lot of help with invoicing, quoting. Something that we brought in with a couple of them was when you're out doing the quotes and things, it can take a while till you get back to customers because obviously you're out all day, you don't want to do it at night. Just put that on a WhatsApp, just put over and then we can type it up. You can either proof check it, have templates made up, and it just means that it's a great customer service because you've only left their house and then an hour later they've been sent that quote on your headed paper telling them and that's amazing. So
Definitely. Well, I think that goes back to that idea of it's communication, it's speed, it's customer service.
Yeah.
Those things all kind of tie into one for sure. Going back to the minimum of 5 hours a week with a client as well. How you'll soon reach a capacity per individual, won't you? So what is that? Is that 40 hours? Is it 50 hours?
No. So the minimum 5 hours is so that we can see an impact. I think anything less than that, you will never notice that we're there because it'd be very minimal.
Okay.
Whereas an hour of VA time it's dedicated to you. You don't take other calls. They're not distracted. They're not going for a coffee. So you can get a lot done in an hour.
Yeah.
And as for reaching capacity, so when I'm matching, it's the VA comes on board with us. They're contracted to us, and then obviously you're contracted through me. And for them to come on board with that, they have to have capacity to increase. So there is no point in me matching you with someone that only has 5 hours availability a week. So that's just part of the agreement with me that you would be able to increase to 10. So you've always got the capacity to increase. For a VA, you're never going to really need them for more than 10 hours a week. I always think if you need a VA for more than that, you'd be more cost effective bringing in a part-time member of staff.
Okay.
Or part-time but working remotely.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're more expensive than a part-time worker that's just working from home.
Yeah.
So when you're gauging up bigger hours, we'd have to kind of really look at, do you really need the more hours or do you think you do? So people will come to me and say, I think I need someone for 15 hours. We go through the list and like, let's start at 5. Let's see what we can get done. And then they do normally increase, but it can range from 7.5 to 10.
Yeah.
The trades tend to go up really quick because they do need someone. It's just that they can't find the right person.
Yeah.
So what happens is we go in, we systemize things, we get them to a certain level, we clear up all the backlog, and then we start recruiting for them.
Yeah.
And then we bring someone in-house. And then they tend to keep us in the background. So like a couple just now, like we've progressed a couple, but we've got a couple on board now and they don't want to lose the VA. They're going to keep her on board for the minimum 5 so that she's there as a backup, holiday cover, which I always encourage clients as well, that even though you've gone and we are minimum 5 hours, if you've got someone full-time or you're using someone else, but you want holiday cover, you can come back. We know you. We've got the capacity.
And I quite like the honesty of that, which is, if people are asking for 15, actually, let's just start with 5 and grow it from there. I also like the honesty of saying there probably is a limit before someone has to then think about recruiting.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not bums on seats for me, and it's not about just raking in money. I want everyone that works with us to have a good experience. Like I love what I do, and you know that, and I do love my clients, even you a wee bit. And I want all my VAs to feel like that as well, because I'd never ever not want to go to work. So, and I want them all to feel like that, and I never want someone to think they're being shortchanged. So if someone isn't happy, a customer, I want them to say why. So I'm not going to start off with 15 hour blah blah. It's like, that's a nonsense. And if anyone's telling you that, that's wrong, because how could you ever know you needed that until you start? You can see what needs to be done, then you have the conversation and we can expand it.
And well, look, I think from my personal point of view, obviously we've had a 6-year relationship so far, and my encouragement to anyone would be to let go of some of the stuff that realistically someone can do far better than I could to allow me to get on and do the stuff hopefully that I'm decent at doing. Do you know? So I think that would be the rallying cry. So on that then, just to end, who's going to be your next client to the business?
I think anyone that starts dreading holidays, starts dreading weekends because they've got so much to do, and they're going to come in to all these emails and that they have to wade through before they even start their actual job. And it's like, so anyone that feels overwhelmed that they're wearing all the hats, they're having to do everything, it's not all, doesn't have to all be on you. I think it's like you say, like a lot of people get bogged down in the day-to-day when that's not actually their job. Like, you're a coach, you're a great coach. You should be spending your time coaching, not answering your emails, moving people's time slots, things like that. It's like, that's something that I always like, the nuance things you hate doing. I tell everyone when they ask, oh, I want a VA, I say, right, so for the next 2 weeks, start writing down things you're doing that you don't want to do or you don't like doing. Then let's have a conversation, we'll work through the list. It might not be a VA you need, it might be a bookkeeper, it might be a marketer, could be someone completely different, but let's have the conversation and let's see where we go from there. Sometimes it isn't us, and then I'll recommend someone else. It's better that everyone's happy. There's no point me bringing in a client that I know is not going to work. It's just a headache. So anyone that's feeling a bit bogged down can have the conversation, and then they can release those tasks.
Brilliant. A great approach, actually, because you really get clear on what the person needs, and then if you can fit that need, great. But if not, then they still get it from someone or somewhere else.
And now I've met so many people over the years now, we're working in business, so many people have helped me. So I want to help other people, and I want to be able to point them in the right direction, or who I know is a right fit for them. People ask me to do like social media, that's not my bag. So I'm like, why would you pay us to do something that we're at best mediocre at, when I can point you in the right direction of people that are great at social media, and you'll pay the same amount of money, but they'll be faster and better. There's plenty of work for everyone.
Great. Well, thank you, Tracy, and thank you for your approach to Professional VA, which is your business, but also for everything that you've done for me as well. I just want to say a massive thank you. Without you, I would be floundering. So thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.